works best as another
They're
carry.
gonna ban some of them. So those are like outranging the TB or PL are like generally the best answers. It's honestly a fine PL game.
Really?
Okay.
You're okay with that into
Yeah, I'm
Into what?
surprised.
Kunkka and
Kunkka doesn't really
Wyvern?
counter.
who has
Well,
last pick? as well?
Wyvern is not good for PL.
Boom have overall last pick, so NGX.
PL into a last pick too for Boom.
What's another good
They're banning
outranging-
Timber, so they might do it.
Yeah. Or maybe that's because they want to play the Tiny as a carry.
I mean, they banned Brewmaster and Timber. I think they're really thinking about this PL. But other options are what, like Sniper could be okay.
Do you think Sniper's in the repertoire for them?
I have no idea. I haven't seen enough games of Dream Assault. Right now, it looks like
I
he just doesn't want to play a real carry, which I'm
I
fine
was gonna
with.
say that. I was like, you know, we had Dawn, we had Pudge. I feel like maybe we are leading up to something crazy like the PL or the Sniper here.
I have no idea what he wants to play. I'm just saying some heroes that come off the top of my head when I see this thing. I mean, Arc Warden, if you want to have
No,
fun.
I'm
Don't
good.
pick Aqua,
I'm
my
good,
friends.
Just
yeah.
That
don't.
hero sucks.
Can you just take that back out from the universe?
Yeah, that hero does suck this patch.
More
Ooh, Morphling, you guys talked about it last game. Unsure why it wasn't being picked.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay for the
Oh,
TB.
I thought there was gonna be more hype around it.
I
It
don't-
used to be really good.
Yeah,
But like with the changes to E-Blade, it got worse. With the changes to like, I think they fixed it so you can't do the meta bug anymore, where you shapeshift into the TB, then you can press.
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, you just spam your
Man.
morph button.
Okay.
I forgot what. There's like some like exploit you did, and then you just like were morph while in meta. Now you have to stay as the Terrorblade. So this
Okay.
matchup is just way worse than it used to be, and then you get a Scotty on the TB, and then morph is kind of sad. So
Yeah.
you still do a considerable amount of magic damage, but I really think the E-Blade change kind of like is why we're not seeing morph anymore.
I feel like when 23 Savage and Gabby, who are like the most known morph players in C, are not picking it, that's how you know it's trash. It's like their favorite heroes or something.
And then just not willing to pick it up. Well, Boom, last pick, overall last pick. Any stabs in the dark?
I want Sand King.
Oh goodness, don't do that for Smorph.
I want Sand King.
Yeah, just don't.
I want Sand King.
Beastmaster's in the pool.
I
That's
want
okay.
No, it's
He's
not.
not.
It's Ben.
No, it's
He's
not.
not.
Dumbass. Blind or what?
Yeah, I mean,
Whoa,
they-
come on.
so it's hard because like, they kind of probably want something with a stun.
I want Sand King.
No.
Finish the thought, Fear, I'm listening.
You don't want to pick Sand King into Morphling because Morph is just going to become Sand King in the fights, and he's going to be probably better than your Sand King.
Okay, DK fine.
DK is okay too because you're gonna just sit there. You're gonna farm. I don't think they're gonna really look to try and. He's probably sitting there like not showing what he wants to
the
do.
hell?
Okay,
Offline Kunkka.
I was gonna like bring that up. I was like, what if we get
You
a jump
didn't,
line
Nat.
mid? I know
One
I
question.
didn't. I should have. I
Oh,
should
okay.
have. Anyway, whoa! Oh, where was it, honey? Mike and John, I didn't need to witness it. Hopefully they saw it. Bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him. Bring him. Bring him. Did you guys see the handshake?
I looked away for a moment. Show me the
Oh,
hand.
do it again.
Oh.
Do it again. You gotta rate it. All right.
It's
Starting with John, rate. What would you give that handshake?
Very firm handshake.
Out of
Very
10?
firm handshake. I approve of it.
Out of-
Very good improvement. I'd say 9.
Oh.
It looked very firm from Fierce end.
9.
And then Mike, what would you put?
I give it like a 2 out of 10. I thought it was floppy. It was embarrassing. I busted out my thesaurus for a second trying to find another nice word for pathetic. It was just terrible. It was really embarrassing.
Someone-
I apologize to the viewers that have to witness
Yeah,
this.
sorry everyone.
Some would almost say trash, but we want. We want
Trash.
that's
Do I get
a
to rate
trash
it?
handshake.
Yeah, does she get a
Do I
rate?
earn it?
Do you get to rate it?
So
Quickly, okay.
it was pretty firm. It was like a good handshake. The only problem was it didn't feel like my hand was like slotting into his hand. Like it wasn't like a comfortably firm
This
handshake.
is
It was
so
more
much
like a
analysis for a handshake.
kind of like crush my hand kind of firm, which is like okay, but it definitely leaves much to be desired. So I put it like an 8 out of 10.
Much to be desired and still gets
8
an
out of
8.
10.
That's pretty good rating.
Still very firm.
Game 3 is gonna happen and start very soon though. So please, will you both on the couch wrap up your final thoughts for the draft before I let the other two run away with it? Oh, great, perfect. All right, Mike and John, you can just take it away for game 3.
Thank you so much, Nat. We do go into a game number 3. Jonathan, I've seen handshakes and I've seen bad handshakes, but my God, that was... Why'd you give him a 9, John? You know it was
I mean,
pathetic.
you saw Fierce hand, the muscles were showing on his arm, his forearm. So It looked fair from Fear. Maybe Fear's end was a 9 of 10. I don't know about Sheep's.
Oh,
I don't know.
it was a bit floppy, John. It was floppy. Oh,
Well,
someone shook.
it's hard to rate.
Someone shook my hand
Yeah.
like that, I'd walk away. Honestly, I'd turn around, I'd walk away.
Wait,
never again.
So are you saying Fear's end or Sheepo's end? Because Fear's look pretty firm. Who are you dissing here, Mike? Huh?
Both of them, Jonathan. Both of them. They were both part of the handshake. They should both be embarrassed about how it went. It was pathetic. You and I could do a way better handshake than that. You know, we're on camera right now, so we can't, but we could have.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 1,000 miles separating us, but what isn't separating us is this game. It's tying us in together, Mike. Interesting drafts. We're not going with anything extreme from either end now. No mid snaps, no safe lane pudge, no safe lane dawnbreakers. Just probably the most standard draft we've seen so far. As we are getting all chat, and I have no clue what Dream was all saying, unfortunately enough. My Indonesian doesn't go that deep, although FBC is saying most Kescu for that reason. Give the guy a break. He's retired, isn't he? Come on,
What
guys.
is Kescu doing now?
I'm not sure. Last I heard from Gary, he plays some other game, but he's also just fully retired. He has businesses. So he took the Tim's route, has some businesses up.
Oh, very good, very good. Very good to see he's a business owner. Hopefully we don't have to... I think I know what other games you're talking about, John. We're not going to bring up the names of those other games.
No.
If you can call them games. Oh, they were games when you consider the Valve versions, but then, you know, there's another company that tend to copycat. What is it, John? Are you going to defend the other company?
No, I'm just saying, let people have their fun at least.
No, I'm not saying you
no
can't
need to
have
diss it.
fun. I'm simply implying that one company came out with the original idea, and then the other company copied the original idea.
Like, absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. You can still have fun.
Point stands.
I won't have fun because I refuse. Screw that. Boom Esports. They'll be able to get the banner in up at top. So it's going to be split anyway, though no. 3-for-1 trade on the bounties. Boom Esports do get away with 3. So they'll have to settle for only 1 on the side of NGXC. What lane do we start with, Jonathan? How about the top lane, shall we? Mizu and Jokam going to be there with Skem on the Wyvern and, of course, Jackie on the TB. Interesting kind of lane matchup here between Jokam and Mizu against these two. John, I'm personally thinking Wyvern's very strong in the meta right now, but what do you think?
Yeah, it works out really well. It gives you lane healing if need be. It's really great at harassing out. In this lane, it's actually pretty nice. You saw Mizu kind of drop low on HP, around half HP just from that one Arctic burn. And that is something that stays relevant here. I mean, Mizu, laning presence of that Night Stalker is amazing. You can just see him getting bullied out. Jokam can't stop it.
It's just so strong. Like, you get this Arctic burn, you just harass the crap out of the offlane at level 1, and then you just make their life a living hell after. Those Skem, it's actually going to pull the creep wave away and bring it towards Jokam, so now the river's our lane. Here we are. Welcome to the new laning stage here between Skem and Jokam, as Jokam is going to just throw his tree away at Skem. Wyvern copying a fair bit of damage. Luckily has RGBs though, Jonathan, so the Wyvern's going to be just fine.
Yeah, true gamer mode there. Still allows us a little bit of a swing around the map. Yeah, the harassment's still there though. Like, Mizu still can't really deal with that lane, just because the percent burn from Arctic Burn is massive against his strength here, and that's a constant issue. This is not just something that will hurt them in the laning phase. As the game scales on, that Arctic Burn will always be something that Mizu and Jokam will have to watch out for. Even Dreamocell will have to watch out for on the Morphling as well if he does strength morph. It's not the best of times for the Morphling, as we do get a bit of a pause. Hotkey issues for Dreamocell, of course, as he's playing the Morphling. Maybe he has some custom mapping to do on his new PC there in the boot camp, but that allows us to maybe take a peek at the other lanes. Down bot, FBZ along with him, so they do still get that Marana Kunkka lane early on with the arrow combos. You have the save from Boomboy down the line with Nightmare, so it's not the worst thing in the world for Dreamocell to play into. It's not the safest lane in the world for the Morphling, though. Like, Kunkka has a lot of presence there. Just play with Tidebringer when the Morphling wants to farm fully agied up, and you can punish, and there's not too much you can do with Bane to stop that. Look at him. He's just constantly plinking away, zoning out Boomboy, preventing any sort of ways of going on top of FBZ and stopping that farm, and Dreamocell's going to have to get a lot of regen in this lane to stay in here.
Oh, absolutely. Something that he can't rely on his POS 5 to do these days, Jonathan. These POS 1's got to stop asking for salves from their POS 5 supports. As, well, Boomboy, you're going to have to fight Tim's here. This small camp, and it's like, yeah, it's getting split up. Boomboy gets the most of it, so nice for him. Of course, over, onto the Wyvern. Skem, she's going to give first blood away here to Jokam, who just chases him down forever. Eventually, the Tiny able to get enough damage off, and, well, that's a big pick up there for Jokam.
And that is one thing that the Winter Wyvern can't deal with too well. Jokam has that early Windlaze start, so he can run down, just keep the right click damage going with the tree grab. They do find a better trade by cleaning up Dreamo Cell than bot though, so it goes back to that regen. Was very low, no way to heal up, the constant Tidebringers are starting to pile up, the waves being shoved in. Not a comfy lane for the Morph, and yeah, you just don't see a way for Boomboy to make that easier every single time. FBZ right clicks, you're just taking hits and you can't trade.
Yeah, absolutely. FBZ, the pos 3 Kunkka, like not something we get to see very often from Boom, but we certainly can flex it very, very nicely here between the three cores of Boom Esports, and well, so far it does pay off. Of course, Tim's on that Mirana. We always talk about the sniper himself. Does tend to go for a roam once he's secured the lane for his pos 3, but it looks like he is going to come back into the bot lane, see what he can find. Meanwhile, that mid lane really heating up between Yopaj and Alacrity, but nobody dropping quite yet between the two. Alacrity is going to just back his way out of the puck and give himself a bit of a reset, but that's going to leave Yopaj in the mid lane on his own to just keep that level higher than the puck. And we'll be able to find another water rune. In fact, he might even find two. Though it does seem like Jokam is going to be around to at least deny one of them away himself.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower start from the lanes here for NGX. Boom just finding that earlier grip and laning. They have strong side lanes to play with. Mid matchup for Yopaj, very playable for the Void Spirit up against the puck, as we're already seeing that advantage build up. Every single lane for Boom already ahead in the CS, so you're not doing much here from NGX to slow down Boom and their build up. Like Jackie's having a free time, already has the Wraith Band going to the casual Basilius for some more mana to play with and a little bit more armor.
Arrow. Very, very nice arrow there from Tim's. Gonna land right onto the Bane, and that's gonna be probably another kill to go the way of FBZ. He does heal up a little bit with the Fairy Fire. Boomboy actually with a very nice Nightmare. Right onto FBZ, blocking the way for Tim's as well. Tim's could have leaped over if he really wanted to, but won't bother trying underneath that tier 1 tower. And I mean, the Bane is able to get himself out nice and safely. Won't even pop a salve though, just gonna go for the reset back at the fountain.
Yep, allows you to maybe TP in mid, refill Alacrity's bottle before the 6-minute mark and start to contest that as well. And that's probably the best way to play this lane for NGX. Just take the aggression off of Dreamo Cell to get all the attention onto yourself. Ensure your Morphling can try to farm and keep up. It's still a pretty hard lane for Dreamo Cell. In comparison, Jackie has almost a free time up top. It is at least the first nighttime now for the Night Stalker, so you have a little bit more presence, but that doesn't help Dreamo Cell's case. Level 4 in the Morph, level 5 already for FBZ. Once that boat threat is up, you don't feel too safe as the Morph. It's just not something that you can really deal with. Boomboy actually does opt to just head back bot, so not going to be around for the mid. At the least, Jokam setting up for the top rune. So they've got some presence to prevent Yopaj from just snowballing out of control. Does have his level 6, but so does Alacrity. There is a Dream Coil play you can do with a toss back. You can try to break the coil and get aggressive. Yopaj, though, seems aware that something's up here.
Oh, Scam. Didn't get caught out here on the Wyvern. Jokam with a toss back is going to break the coil onto that Wyvern as Scam. How he tries to find a way out of this one. Well, the answer is he just won't. Does go down, but Japoy actually going to try and dive in. See if he can catch out this puck and snipe him down as Alacrity. Dropping very low now, might just go down. Though he does orb away just in the nick of time. This Boomboy is going to show up on the Bane to try and help out. Back into that Mirana with the silence. So Tim's Fairy fires back with the arrow. Is going to land onto the Tiny. The orb not going to connect Tim's. Still on the run, but eventually should go down and does. NGXC just trying everything to make sure Alacrity does not drop, and they make it happen.
They find the kills they needed. They got a regen, not the most value out for Alacrity, so already out of bottle charges. Yopaj still building up the level lead, but you are kind of setting up for your puck to at least build up initially. It takes a lot of resources onto the mid. You're leaving your side lanes exposed from NGX. FBZ still has a bit of a great time here. A top lane that's fairly free for Jackie to still play that farm game. And it won't.
Yeah, bot lane, Arrow gonna land perfectly with the X-Pack. Nightmare gonna buy a bit of time here for Dreamer Soul to try and walk his way out. They don't bother throwing the boat out onto the Morphling. They will go onto the tier 1 bottom tower. Meanwhile, mid lane, Yopaj, very, very deep behind the tier 1, is going to get punished as Jokam was still around on the Tiny. Alacrity given the wall, play it over, and another kill to go the way of the puck. Yopaj ends up going down to the mid Void Spirit.
Still have to respect that. Damn, Dreamer Cell not out of danger.
Certainly isn't. The boat will fly in, but he's got the strength morph up. He's going to be just fine to walk his way out as Boom. will continue pressuring that bottom tier 1 tower. They've still got the siege creep available. They will even glyph it up just to make sure they can get this, and they will. FBZ able to take the final hit on the tower. As Dreamer Soul will be forced to walk out of there, and well, things still going pretty well for Boom, even though the mid lane has not really panned out in their favor.
Yeah, it's 4-1 on the kill board, but a 3k lead for Boom. Their lanes and the sides are just going phenomenally well. This is the freest game that I've seen Jackie get yet. Number 2 in net worth, FBZ number 1 on a really great matchup for the Kunkka. Building up already at double brace your phase, does a lot of damage, has a lot of durability, and they're playing around that fact really well. They're just constantly pressuring Dreamocell. He can't leave the bot lane, he doesn't have the top open for himself to farm, so he's just under constant pressure. This is a much slower start for your Morphling, way behind in comparison to Jackie. All the cores of NGX just not having the best of starts outside of Alacrity. They're going to have to try to build their momentum from that puck. Get the aggression going, get that early Witchblade and Blink, start to play with some combinations with maybe the toss back on the coil and keep that pressure. You have to find a way to stop Jackie farming though. None of their movements have been hooking up top. And as long as the Terrorblade farms, no matter what else happens on the map, Boom is still happy.
Yopaj gonna rotate over top lane. Nice arrow there from Tim's, connecting onto the Tiny this time around as Yopaj trying to find a way to Astral Step in. Won't bother trying in the end. They didn't have Metamorphosis up, so it doesn't seem like they want to bother trying to go for the kill onto the Tiny. And of course, Mizu with 4 braces up probably just isn't gonna die. So they won't even bother trying for the Night Stalker. There's Jokam. He's actually going to find Jackie here on the onto the TB. Just back his way out on the Tiny and just going to keep following him down. Just keep annoying him. Take these creeps away from that Terrorblade, and Jokam doing a very good job of it.
Yeah, just being a little bit disruptive. Still not enough to fully stop Jackie from getting that build up though, and Boom are still working this map really well. They've got a free bot lane. They've got a free top lane. They've got the free jungle. No forward wards being dropped by NGX. And they are finding some openings, so.
Avalanche there, but Jokam, well, he's put himself in a bit of a precarious situation trying to secure that power rune. X is out, so there's no way out now for Jokam, and he will accept he is dead. FBZ to take the kill on the Kunkka. So 4-2 now, but more importantly, that net worth graph still going very heavily in the favor of Boom. It's NGXC. To be fair to them, John, we've seen this 3 times in a row now. Losing, not necessarily losing the laning stage, but always having a net worth deficit by this time of the game. And, well, they did win one of the 2 games, so you never know. It's NGXC. They'll get X'd up by Alacrity, or rather FBZ, into an arrow, onto the puck, and the boat will fly in. The Nightmare won't make it in time from Boom Boy. They've got the mid puck down. They'll at least try to punish Tims for this. Skem is right behind with the cold embrace in case he needs it. He will survive. FBZ now can move in with Yopaj, and they will find Jokam. Another kill for their trouble, as they'll go into the mid tier 1 tower. And Boom, they might get away with this for free. There's no form of defense coming.
Now it's going to take a while for NGX to find that presence in these fights. They have the grip from Boom Boy that they could play with, but you don't really have the best angles to make that work. You have to respawn out in Alacrity. Still has the DD. They could look for maybe a couple of pickoffs, but Boom don't play greedy. In fact, could try onto Alacrity if he's not careful.
Yeah, just an X back. Just the constant threat, right, of the X into the arrow. It's what's really going to scare Alacrity this game, and it's a combination that Boom have just practiced over and over again for what feels like the past year, quite frankly. Previous meta, this was basically their draft every single time, being the Kunkka and the Mirana, that is. Still NGX, not too far behind, just 5k net worth behind at the moment, 12 minutes into the game. They'll try to roam into the dire triangle, and they will find Jackie. They'll go right into the Dream Coil and the Fiend's Grip, and Jackie's got the cold embrace out. There's the Torrent as well, but FBC gonna lock them down. Alacrity is going to try and back his way out, but he is not going to make it. Eventually being caught out and taken down. And he does.
Yeah, it's just not lining up for the side of NGX. They find a target. They don't have the damage to deal with Jackie. And he's just allowed to build up 5k lead for Boom. A much stronger start across all 3 games. This is probably the best start that Boom has had yet, despite the kill board being relatively even. They're going to find an early tier 1. They might get pumped, though.
They may. Tim's being caught. Yopaj going to jump in it against Skem. The cold embrace really haunting the side of NGXC right now as they are still chasing down this Mirana. Tim's looking for an arrow, for an angle for an arrow, but not going to find it. Instead, they will jump Joe Cam. They'll find the Tiny as Tim's. He is just fine. Alacrity now the one in danger on the puck as Jackie's even going to join in. Mizu, he was still chasing down this Mirana that whole time. And he will finally back out of there, but they're going to find Boom Boy on top. That'll be the Bane to drop, I believe. As Yopaj will take it on the Void Spirit. And this Wyvern, Skem, he's doing a great job. Just every time he needs the cold embrace, he's there. And they just can't catch him out, even with the Night Stalker.
And they don't have the magical burst to deal with that. You have a support Tiny. He's not getting the levels to really instantly burst anyone down. You don't have a blink to threaten as well here for Joe Cam. And Boom just get aggressive. They have two cores that can play super fast. The Terrorblade's just allowed to constantly build up. Nothing to threaten him on the backline because there's no instant jump. And Alacrity's your best bet. And he's just kind of forced to be caught out.
Oh, they see him, John. X arrow. This could be very problematic. They'll start with the torrent first, into the tumblers, the arrow. It actually ends up landing. How does the Tims time that?
Yeah, it's just perfect.
He just timed the creeps going down.
Yeah, they get the perfect alignment there. I mean, Boom's been playing together for a long time. Comms must be a lot of yelling, but it works out in the end. They find another big kill. They're suppressing NGX. Their map has just completely shrunk. No tier 1s left standing here, Mike. No farming area for a Morphling to just play slow and build up. And no presence. Like, Alacrity can't take these fights yet. He has no damage. He has no blink.
Speaking of Alacrity, John, he'll orb away. They know where he's gone. Aether Remnant off the mark, but it gives the vision to get the Yule Scepter into the arrow setup. And Japoy, he won't even look at Alacrity. Jackie will take the kill on the Terrorblade. 8k advantage now for Boom. I guess this is what happens when they go back to their comfort.
Yeah, I mean, this is something they're known for. Kunkka plus Mirana. This time FBZ instead of Yopaj and Kunkka still works out. Basic combination stays the same. And you have that win condition on Jackie. Yeah, this terribly. It's just unanswered. You don't have the magical burst. Your puck isn't ready to deal with a TB yet with no mobility, easily punishable. And you just play around that fact. You know, Jackie's just showing up just with the Yasha and the Dragonlance along with the Wraith Band. And it's still too much to deal with. NGX, they have some hold, they have some play, they need to find something.
Joe Cam, he's going to try and find something here, John, but he won't be able to get the toss back onto Skem. In fact, now, get used up, might be in a spot of bother. So slow him down with the Astral Step, and the X is going to be there. FBZ will join his team, and Yopaj will take another kill. So they'll go right back for the outpost. Things are looking very rough here. Like, you've got a Morphling on your end of things, but Dreamer Cell, he's going to take a long time to be online. It is a Morphling in 7.31D, John. It's Mizu. Going to go for a run, but what an arrow. Going to block his way, though he will run around. He'll be okay for now, but Skem's incoming. Curse available, but Skem, he won't throw it out yet. NGXC, they'd love to find the Wyvern first, but here comes FBZ from a different path. Onto the Bane they go. They'll try to burst down Boom Boy, and they've got him already. Mizu, he's popped the Dark Ascension, just trying to deal with Skem. They even use the Dream Coil, but they just can't get him. He just presses Cold Embrace, and he's fine. FBZ, who go for an X back into a Torrent. This time they might find Skem, and they will. That'll be one. Yopaj, Yule Scepter out, gonna catch Mizu, the Night Stalker, into the arrow, and well, you got the Wyvern. It just costs you pos 3.
I think if you're NGX, you just take what you can. You're so far behind that these kills still give you a little bit more network than you lose for your trouble. And the big issue for NGX is they can't connect their spells. Like you mentioned it. They get Dream Coil out, they get Dark Ascension. There's no follow through. You don't have a blink in your Tiny, so you can't just go for a single target break or even just the Avalanche on top of the Dream Coil. Your Morphling's not ready to show up. Dream Cell staying very far away from these fights, trying to just farm up and hit this point where the Morphling can maybe do some damage. Still a ways off, and boom, they're just constantly forcing the aggression. You're just invading triangle looking for more.
They are. Yopaj right in. Would love Boom Boy another time on the Bane, but instead FBZ going to try for the X, but losing vision. Can't find him. They'll get a ward down eventually, but it's not going to be quick enough. The nighttime just not offering enough vision here to Boom Esports. They do have to back off and maybe go for the top tier 2 tower instead. That's exactly what they'll do. NGXC, they just don't have the answers. Like, your mid puck hasn't worked out, your offlane Night Stalker hasn't worked out, and you've got to pos one Morphling. If your side lanes don't work, you just, it's all over. What's happened, John?
I'm looking at Dream Assault's build. He's going for the Ags, Mike. So we will see the new Morphling Ags if it does come true.
What?
I mean, it could be nice, I guess. Spell amp, attack speed on Agi heroes could be good, but it's a long ways away, Mike. And he's only gonna have the Yasha to protect. Maybe the Scotty on top if he wants, but there's the Yasha into Ags. We'll see if that timing presents itself. You're 9k behind. Boom has complete map control. All outer towers gone. It's top.
Mizu in danger. Arrow's not going to land this time, but Mizu, he doesn't have Dark Ascension, so he can't really get out of this. He's going to try to run his way out, and, well, actually, he is still running. Nightmare is there. He is out. Oh, Mizu, he'll actually make it. Thanks to Boomboy with the Nightmare, of course.
Really nice play out from Boomboy, just stalling for time. That doesn't stop the high ground here, though, Mike. Jackie pops Meta, has the damage, has the Manta. Towers just melt, and I still don't see a good defensive angle for the side of NGX to take. They have the Blink and Joe Cam. They need to find a way to get someone isolated here.
Very, very challenging, though, like you mentioned, as they found Jackie. That's a big target. Coil is there. Fiend's Grip, Crippling Fear, everything been thrown, but the Cold Embrace scam. He's just not going to allow it. Maybe now they take him down, but no, the Manta! And the Sunder is there by Jackie in time. You have to kill this Wyvern. You are not killing anyone if Skem is not dead.
Yeah, and he's just staying so far behind in these fights, not presenting himself to NGX, not giving that opportunity for NGX to hold out. Very disciplined from Boom. They just play with his lead, constantly force the aggression, knowing that NGX wants to try to play another slow game, and they're not getting it. You have the Manta up on Dreamocell. He's at 7.6k net worth, top of his team, but severely behind Jackie. He's one major item above. They see the Roshan, no metamorphosis, but they're still gonna get into it. They still have the damage to deal with it. They know there's no counterplay here from NGX with Dream Coil down, with the items and the gold they have on hand in comparison. There's just no angle. So they can just take these objectives, no contest, build up, and just work the map. NGX, they have to keep being efficient while they can. You know, they're forced to surrender Roche, they're forced to surrender outer towers. They need to get something back from that. They need this investment in their Morphling to pay off. Again, Ags, Rush, we'll see if that pays off, Mike. I don't...
Is this about the TB morph? Like, so here's my theory, right? In fact, hold that thought, John, because bot lane, Yopaj can make the jump in with the Aether Remnant. He's gonna hold down Joe Cam. Tiny, we'll see if he can find a way out, but it's looking pretty rough for him as FBZ moves in, and it's like Boomboy just gonna accept the fact that he is gonna die. John, here's my theory. He morphs into TB with the Ags. He ends up stealing 20% of the Agi stats, right? So he ends up, is it 20%? No, 50% of the attack speed stolen.
Yes.
Right?
And 20% of his stats, yes.
It still doesn't seem good. Like, maybe, it still just doesn't seem good. Who's he morphing into? Or is he morphing? Is that what it's about?
Yeah, I guess he'll just morph into Jackie, use the metamorphosis against him with his stolen stats. That could be nice.
Wait, is that actual morphing?
Yes, that would be morphing, Mike. We've had this discussion with the one Morphling game we've seen before. It's a morphing hero. But Jackie's not giving that time to morph, just gone to the high ground again, just slow siege, nothing to stop it. He's just standing right there and they can't do anything.
Toss out, but it's not an illusion. Anyway, I know we've had this convo, John, but you always told me Lycan's the main morbing character. That's why I asked.
He is also morbing, yes. They are all morbers, Mike.
Well, last time I asked you, you said Morphling wasn't a big morber, as they do get a toss back, but the X is there. Jump in, Joe Cam, he's in trouble. Arrow's gonna land. Nightmare will help for a little bit, but not for long. FBZ to take another. Sunder on Skem, but he'll just cold embrace himself. Jackie just wants that reset. Now the X and the boat gonna fly in onto the puck, who has been silenced up. No way to avoid it. Caught by the Aether Remnant. Still going down, but the Nightmare does buy a bit of time. As Joe Cam jumps back in onto Yopaj with a toss back, but it's not gonna help out. They'll commit the Dream Coil. But what are you gonna do with it? X is there. Onto the puck again, and this time Alacrity will be able to avoid it, but boom. They're right into the mid-racks, and they might just go top after. Nothing to stop them.
Nothing to stop. Yeah, Dream Coil down. You have the grip at the ready. Dark Ascension was popped from Mizu. your options are really running low here, and boom, it's just a walkover. 5 to 17, 16k lead, looking for more.
Another great catch into the arrow. Nightmare, again, only going to buy so much time. Japoy picks up another. Onto the Bane, Boom Boy. He's okay.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
The top racks is not, however.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
And backdoor will kick in for a second, but they've got a creep wave on the way through the mid lane. So now 2 racks is down. John, did Boom bother going for a third? I mean, you'd think they would, right?
Yeah, just play it safe. No reason not to push your advantage here. No reason to pull back. Just keep going. And NGX, I mean, what do you do? Like, you have the Ags up on Yopaj. It's a 17k lead at 23. It just feels impossible.
Nice avalanche. Toss back onto Jackie. He'll Manta. Has a Sunder. Will get it off. Alacrity has to walk away as now they've caught Jokan. That'll be a tiny con. Boom. Oh, there's your curse out. Scam setting up. Is that even... That might be the first curse this game, John. I can't remember another one.
Yep.
There's now the Scotty's there. Alacrity almost getting bursted down as Dreamer Cell. He'll waveform out just in the nick of time. The hold down Yopaj with the Fiend's Rip, but the cold embrace, it just makes it so hard to do anything. Megas are out. Do you just call
4
it?
minutes? I don't see the play here, Mike. Unless they maybe toss someone into Fountain and then do it again and then do it again. That's probably their first course of action. Outside of that, I really don't know. They are smoking out here, though.
Yep. Here we go. Joe Camp tosses there the blow up Tims. That's 1 down. Nice little start here for NGXC. Dark Ascension popped as well. They need to punish as much as possible. Metamorphosis just about to wear out on Jackie, so now's the prime position to try and force the fight, and Dream Missile will do so, but Japoy right back in after Mizu. Wants the Night Stalker gone. I might just have him. Mizu, he'll get to the high ground, try to buy himself a little bit more time. So who are they chasing? They'll try onto Scam. The Wyvern still going to be fine as now Joe Cam has been caught out by the X-Boat combination and might just be gone and does go down. Godlike for Japoy's. Mizu still playing around, trying to pick off Scam. He's got Cold Embrace up. He's not going to die. Scam is not going to die. GG well played. They've had enough. I'll tell you what, John, this Wyvern pick. This Wyvern pick was perfect this game. They could just do nothing against it.
Yeah, it's a combination of the Wyvern along with the Kunkka. You had the boat buff to have to deal with. You have the Cold Embrace to deal with. They were way too durable on Boom Sand for an NGX. I mean, I don't think their draft did them any favors. Boom play a very clean, very disciplined game. Yeah, I mean, they're
not happy, John.
I mean, the game 1 kind of shook them out. Game 2 was also a little bit... It was better. It was, you know, not peak Boom. I think this game 3 is peak Boom at their most disciplined, at their best. It looked like a very easy game for them. I think this is maybe what people were expecting going into the series. Not expecting NGX to have that much fight, but they showed up in game 1 and to an extent game 2. With game 3, you mentioned it, Boom just goes back comfort. Kunkka Marana with that great Wyvern pick, and NGX just wasn't ready. They go for Morphling. The Ags never even came out. We haven't even seen it in any of our own games casted. I'm disappointed, but Morphling's just a very hit and miss here right now, Mike.
Yeah, we did not get to Morb today, Jonathan, but we'll have another day to Morb shortly. Going back to the players at the end, they did not look happy. I think to them, they're just not playing at the level they should be right now. And I think a lot of the viewers do kind of agree based on what I've seen. Still, we'll leave that up to the post-game analysis that is going to be provided by our panel. So it is MLP Dota and John Expire, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back after a very short break with our panel for an interview.